In this video, we will cover the pectoral girdle. The pectoral girdle is responsible for attaching the upper extremities to the axial skeleton. So the pectoral girdle involves two bones. It's the scapula and the clavicle. So we'll start by looking at these bones individually. So here we have the scapula. And so we'll start looking at it from a posterior view. So only in a posterior view can you see what's called the spine of the scapula. So the structure here is the spine of the scapula. If you follow the spine of the scapula, superior and lateral, you see the acromion process. So here's your acromion process, which actually will curve anteriorly. So you can also see the acromion process from the anterior view coming just above this process called the coracoid process. So here's your acromion, and that's going to articulate with the lateral end of the clavicle to create your acromioclavicular joint. And then the coracoid process, that's going to be primarily for muscle attachment. One other structure you need to know for the scapula, on the lateral border, so we have here, this is our medial border, this is our lateral border, so we know that we're looking at the left scapula. So here we have, on the lateral border, we have a cavity called the glenoid fossa. The glenoid fossa is where the head of the humerus will articulate and make up a ball and socket joint. So then we'll look at the clavicle, and the clavicle is a S-shaped bone, so it almost looks like an S if it were stretched out, and all you need to know is which end articulates where. So the medial end of the clavicle, which is a lot thicker in diameter, that's going to articulate to the manubrium of the sternum. Then we have the lateral end of the clavicle, which is much thinner. That will articulate with the acromion process of the scapula. So now we'll identify all these structures once again with them all together. So here you see your humerus, and the head of the humerus is going inside the glenoid fossa on the lateral border. So because lateral is out here, medial is here, that makes this model the right scapula, and the right pectoral girdle. So we have the glenoid fossa. Because we're looking anteriorly, we can see the coracoid process here. Here's our clavicle, the medial end, which will attach to the manubrium of the sternum, the lateral end that will attach to the acromion process of the scapula. And so if we look posteriorly, we should be able to see the spine of the scapula. So here's your spine of your scapula, and if you follow that superior and laterally, you get to the acromion process here.